you guys might have started seeing some links in the descriptions to a streaming service called Multitude, which is actually put together by the people behind the camera here. And there's actually another camera here. You don't see it on this video because that enhanced version of this footage is being done over there on that service. So you can watch probably this content 2 ways if you'd like, and check that out. And that's all about like getting back to a smaller way of curating good content. So what's interesting is there's definitely a family of local businesses that are all kind of along the same lines. In my grocery store, we carry Southwest Mushrooms, and Southwest Mushrooms is a gourmet mushroom company based here out of Arizona that also has a YouTube channel done by the same folks that are doing the filmography here on ours and the editing. And we were just having a discussion yesterday about, there are different kinds of mushrooms. There's gourmet mushrooms for eating, and then there's some mushrooms out there that serve different purposes. And the latter is not what Southwest Mushrooms is involved with. They very much are focused on eating mushrooms. They're at every single farmer's market not every market we attend, but they are also farmer's market vendors here. So, they are serving children, they're serving all ages. And what's interesting is the AI in YouTube flagged a random video that had nothing to do with anything illicit, just all gourmet mushrooms. And there's absolutely nothing that the content creators can do about it. They appealed and got a response saying, after careful review, we believe this is still depicting illegal activity, and yet it's literally gourmet mushrooms. Like it could be any video because it's literally gourmet mushroom production. And a similar situation happened to me recently at our local grocery store, where AI was able to do a deep scan of my website and the website of the other vendors that are in the store to determine liability risks for Shopify, and the banks, the credit card processing behind. So here in the state of Arizona, and actually nationally now, it's completely legal to sell CBD products. And we happen to have a couple in our local market. Well, one day we randomly showed up to work at the very beginning of the week, and our entire credit card processing system was shut down. We could not take credit card payments for bread, for milk, for eggs, for pasta, all because they found that we had we're carrying CBD products. And actually the result of that is we had to take those products down, and we couldn't sell products that we're legally allowed to sell because we wouldn't be able to accept credit cards any other way. And that decision was wholly made by a deep scan of the website, not by human regulation. And it wasn't just CBD. We have a vendor that makes tea products, loose leaf teas. And another legal ingredient is called Cava. And what's interesting is she's not required to list every single herb in every single one of her teas. So her labeling is such that it's like this particular product called Body Bliss. And then it wrote a description of what it does, like how it makes you feel essentially. Relaxing, whatever, support for this, or support for muscles, or she writes that kind of thing on her packaging, nothing about the ingredients. But if you go to her website and go under Body Bliss, you'll find the ingredients, and you'll find that Cava is listed. Well, her website was simply linked to our online store. It wasn't actually on our online store, but the AI is so good at scanning, because humans would never have the bandwidth to scan all the Shopify websites that there are, and then all the websites that are linked to those websites to find individual ingredients, that product also took down our credit card processing all at the same time. So I guess all I'm trying to say in all this is we all, you know, those of us kind of behind the scenes here, working on the local level, producing food, breaking our neighborhood ordinances, and you know, pushing the envelope on what's legal and choosing to only be regulated by our government as opposed to all the sort of sub-governments and sub-regulations, because in that situation, YouTube, a private company, created an arbitrary regulation on something that's truly completely okay with the mushrooms. And Shopify created an arbitrary regulation on something that's completely okay with selling CBD. And it's sort of interesting how AI is changing the very fabric of our lives in that way, and we don't even know. I guess I fear the continual direction down that path, and how that might really limit us from being able to experience sort of the full spectrum of human capability and artisanship. And so, anyway, if you'd like to watch a different version of this video where you know, human beings are behind it, I mean, YouTube's great. We will continue being here, and the audience we have here is awesome. But that secondary channel allows for you to get more of a behind-the-scenes look, better camera angles, more of a cinematic feel, and allows our content creators behind the camera that are really doing the hard work here, because all I'm doing is doing what I'd be doing anyway, baking bread and talking, both of which I do all the time. But you know, it allows for the people that are investing in this to have more say over what content actually gets to be featured and what content doesn't. Because on places that are controlled by big companies, it's all, you know, based on their sort of whims, their algorithmic whims. Go back to the video that we posted a year ago that's been viewed 3 million times. Is that the best artisan sourdough video that we've posted? I don't think so. I actually think the other start to finish artisan sourdough videos were more refined, had better overall quality because they weren't our very first shoot. But for whatever reason, the timing and the algorithm on that day, you know, served that video up to a much larger audience. And all I'm saying is, just like everything else we talk about here, where the people who actually do the work, you know, me as a bread maker, or, you know, Mike as a mushroom grower. There's somebody in our driveway, Amanda. My friend? Oh, okay. Very paranoid when people show up at our driveway, as you can imagine, after everything that we've been through. But anyway, I guess I'm saying, why are so many people attracted in our community to this kind of work? You know, the difference between the people in support for what we do and the people that are against what we do is astronomical. Like, you know, there's thousands of people that really are connected immediately to this artisanship. And then there's a few people that are, like, for whatever reason, really vehemently opposed. But what's interesting is oftentimes it's actually not people that get to make the final call anyway. It's some sort of algorithm that somebody designed. So I think we ought to reevaluate all of that. I think we ought to really start thinking about it, because these technologies are getting stronger every single year, and really meaningfully changing what you get to see and what you don't get to see, what's regulated and what's not, what's produced and what's not. And I think if we're not careful, we're going to start seeing more of the same everywhere we go. And that's really what I think I'm fighting against. I want to be able to visit another region of the country and walk into a bakery and see the nuance of their region, see the nuance of their supply chain, and really appreciate the differences that me as an artisan have to that other artisan. I don't want my industry to be all the same. I don't want to just be surrounded by Wonder Bread, frankly. I'm not trying to say anything negative about Wonder Bread here, so please, you know, I'm not making a statement of support or not. I'm just simply saying I don't want that to be the only thing that's out there. Ultimately, I think that the intention behind computer algorithms is often pure, is often, well, we want to keep content safe online. We want to make sure that something that's truly illegal gets filtered out so that our children aren't exposed, so that vulnerable parties aren't exposed to something that could really cause harm. However, humans couldn't possibly do the deep type of scanning of every single website out there, of every single thing that's written out there, of every video, of every Shopify listing, for instance. And so computers are sort of necessary to spot the illegal activity, but as it stands, they often overcorrect. It's often just this thing where computers get to ultimately decide, and often there's no recourse. So going back to that gourmet mushroom video that was recently taken down, there's literally nothing that this fine group of people making legal videos on kitchen grade mushrooms can do. They filed an appeal, and the AI came back saying, well, sorry. And there's no more recourse. And same thing happened to me with the whole credit card thing. No further recourse. You either find a different alternative to Shopify, which is also hard because these bigger technology companies are so good at what they do that they squeeze out competition. So you're kind of forced into those particular, like here we are on YouTube. Why aren't there multiple independent streaming services that we all like? Why don't we have a conversation of, oh, I watch Multitude and you watch this? It's because those services have a hard time competing. They have a hard time competing against these giants, and then these giants can create their own rules and really dictate the future of everything. So I guess all I'm saying is we've got to find a way to allow small creators their own foothold in the industry. We've got to find a way for variety. I'm not saying that Google and Apple and Microsoft and Amazon and all these big tech companies don't have a place in our world, because I think they absolutely do, and I'm a customer of, I think, all of the above. But I am saying that we should not allow a situation where the biggest players out there with the biggest pocketbooks, where they can really invest in technology that the majority of us couldn't possibly conceive creating, are able to essentially regulate themselves, like create the rules, create the laws of the land, to where newcomers who have creative ideas, completely legal creative ideas and innovative, don't have a foothold. I have certainly felt that here at the bakery. And you know, when we go around to our community and the community that we're actually supporting, everybody's in that boat. All of us small producers are literally facing those challenges. We're all standing for something together, and what we're standing for is basically a right to do what we believe in, a right to bring to market things that we're passionate about, and things that we believe should exist. So look for that. Check out Multitude, and also we'll continue this conversation in the future, because it's something that binds all of us together in this community especially, is creating a world where independent thought and independent innovation, independent curation of content, of course legal independent work, is allowable, and the diversity of life, the diversity of human input is highlighted. So, and choice is given. So anyway, if you agree, then keep following along on those things. You know, check out some of these other resources.